23 seconds on the power play. Shot a goal, rebound, shot, he scores! King in front of the net like he's done all game, buries that rebound, 2-0.
What a great job by the Cougars. A really good chance there. Just had to tap it in, but he couldn't.
Welcome to On the Prowl, keeping up with the MRU Cougars, the Mountain Royal University Cougars radio segment on the Sportsnet The Fan 960, where we talk university athletics. Coming up on the first ever On the Prowl segment, we recap how Cougar teams are doing so far this year and look ahead to tonight's MRU Remembers game. Join us at the Flames Community Arenas in recognition of the Canadian military as the Mountain Royal University Cougars men's hockey team faces off against the University of Saskatchewan Huskies at 6 p.m. I'm Jordan Magnuson.
And I'm Dylan Dodge, and we're going to jump straight into some volleyball action. The men's off to a 4-0 start to the season before losing two straight games to the U of A Golden Bears. They were swept 3-0 on consecutive nights. However, this is the season for Coach Sean Skye and his men's side. 5 fifth years on the roster. It's the year of the senior with the MRU Cougars men's volleyball. And last year they were 11-13, and they're definitely going to improve on that record going into this season.
Women's volleyball is in a rebuild and have a 2-4 record to start this season. Setter Jenna Smith is the only fifth-year player playing on the team, and she's the biggest veteran voice on the squad. The Cougars are looking to get back into the playoffs after making it in their first season in CIS competition.
Now over to some soccer, both the men's and the women's side making the playoffs for their first ever time. The men's with the regular season record of 7-4-1, and the females 3-8-3. Unfortunately, both teams did bow out in the first playoff leg. The University of Victoria Vikes beat Mount Royal Cougars 5-0 in the men's side. Meanwhile, the women's fell to the Dinos 4-0. The plus side is there will be basically the same roster coming back for both sides, as they only lose 3 senior players between the two sides.
Here, as a breakaway, coming in, Cooper, the goalie tries to keep her out.
Men's hockey goaltender Colin Cooper was named the Athlete of the Month in October. Cooper was thrust into the starting role after third-year starter Cam Lanigan went down to injury. The first-year Cougar took his opportunity and ran with it.
He's a great kid. He's got a great work ethic. He's a team player. And again, under the circumstances with Cam getting hurt, for Colin to step in and do as well as he did was huge. He made some very big saves on Friday night. On Saturday, I thought he was a big difference in why we won the game.
You know, we got some depth in that with Colin Cooper having a good weekend here.
Cooper has put together some impressive numbers against some of the most elite teams in the nation. In 6 starts, he has gone 4-1-1 with a 2.34 goals against average and a .916 save percentage. Over into women's hockey now. Their record may only be 5-6-1, but the team has looked a lot better than their record indicates. They have allowed the lowest amount of goals in their division at 14, but have only scored 15. However, this past weekend, their offense really exploded with 7 goals in 2 games against Lethbridge. Goaltenders Jess Ross and Emma Pincott have been unbelievable. Pincott is 2-3 with a 1.59 goals against average and a .942 save percentage. Meanwhile, Ross is 2-3 with a 1.22 goals against average and a .951 save percentage.
The men's hockey team is where we shift our focus. Tonight is the 4th annual MRU Remembers game at Flames Community Arenas, and it is a big game for the Cougars. Puck drop is 6 p.m. versus the 7-1 University of Saskatchewan Huskies. The game has turned into a big event for the Cougars that they hold every year, as military members are invited to the rink to be recognized and honored before the game. Money is raised for the Veterans Food Bank, and a military band performs the national anthem. Mount Royal sits 4th in Canada West with a 4-2-2 record and recently beat the reigning CIS champions U of A Golden Bears in Edmonton 4-2. The outstanding play from last year from Matt Brown, Tyler Fiddler, and Cody Karche has carried over into the season as well. Brown has 7 goals, which is 3rd in the country, and 10 points. As one of the Cougars' most consistent point producers, Brown has been known to score clutch goals. None of them have been more important than when Mount Royal battled the University of Saskatchewan Huskies in their first ever home playoff game last season.
Here comes Brown into the Huskies end. He's going to miss the puck though. Roach is going to knock him off. Battle in the corner there. Roach is going to get the best of him from the Huskies. But Fiddler, that's the shot. He's going to risk one. That's going to be blocked aside by Hofeld. Wraparound shot. He scores! Matt Brown, the captain of the Cougars, wins game 1 for them.
The Cougars are set to take on the Huskies in the MRU Remembers game tonight. With the Huskies at a 7 wins, 1 loss record, Brown and the rest of the Mountain Royal squad know how difficult this matchup will be.
Yeah, I think we're aware of the magnitude of this weekend. Sask has been playing real well hockey-wise, so I think we just need to focus on everyone bringing their A-game, finding that consistency between Friday night and Saturday night.
6 p.m. tonight at the Flames Community Arenas. It's the University of Saskatchewan Huskies taking on the Mount Royal Cougars.
To talk about the MRU Remembers game at the Flames Community Arenas here tonight at 6 p.m., we have head coach of the Mount Royal squad, Bert Gilling. Mount Royal, one of the stronger teams in, or the hockey team, sorry, one of the stronger teams in Mount Royal, making it all the way to the second round of the playoffs last season. What are the expectations going into this season?
From last year to this year, we have a lot of our top scorers returning, and we have the influx of some new recruits. It was our first year recruiting as a program as well, and getting our message out and trying to get the right people on board with where we want to take the program in the future. So right now, the expectations, I'm not a big goal-oriented person from the standpoint of, we want to get to the finals, we want to get to the national championship. I think those things are all a given. We just want to get right back to taking the next step as a program with regards to our academic success, our strength conditioning, off-ice program, our practice habits, and how we play. We're further ahead right now this year significantly than we were at this time last year. That's exciting. And we hope to continue to build on that and, again, peak in the second half of the year and get on a playoff run, where I thought last year we kind of leveled off a little bit as the season went on. And it was a real struggle for us in the playoffs, even though we did advance. This year we want to try and peak at that time and really get on a serious run, hopefully to Halifax.
So your team is currently fourth in Canada West with a 4-2-2 record. How would you evaluate the start of your season so far?
Well, a little inconsistent. It's funny, I was just reading an article, I think it was Paul Maurice for the Winnipeg Jets, and somebody asked him the question, this same sort of question. And he sat there and just to paraphrase, I think we're good. We're trying to figure out how good we are. And when I read that, I was like, that's a perfect description as to where I'm at with our team. We've beaten Alberta, who's the two-time defending national champions. And, we've beaten Alaska. We've competed with the NCAA Division I schools. When we're on and we're clicking, I feel we can beat anybody in the country. And it's just getting that level of consistency in our game right now and really getting our players to really play at that high execution and that high energy level that's needed. The inconsistency comes a little bit is, we've been very good on Fridays, not so good on Saturdays. And just to be able to bottle up that energy and bring it every night that we play is the level of consistency that we're looking for in our game. And if we can get that down, we're going to be pretty good the second half of the year.
So tonight at 6 p.m. over at the Flames Community Arenas, you guys actually have a special event going on, and that is the MRU Remembers game featuring the Mount Royal Cougars and the Saskatchewan Huskies. We'll talk about that in a second, but what I want to talk about is the event itself. What makes this event so special to this organization?
Well, we always do it in our last home game preceding the Remembrance Day, the National Remembrance Day, and it's very special. Since I got the job, we inherited this, and this is the fourth annual game. And it was a very nice initiative from the previous staff and with our athletic administration. And I just basically sat on the sidelines last year and experienced it. And this year, with our hockey ops coordinator, Nathan Higgins, and our staff, we're getting more involved with it. And it really is a neat event. And, there's lots of benefactors for this game. And obviously, we're trying to honor the servicemen and women and the veterans as we approach Remembrance Day. And it's just our way of giving thanks and honoring them. There's lots of neat stuff going on in the game. We have the HMCS Tecumseh will be there. They'll have an officer present to present the colors, and their Naval Reservist Band will be playing the national anthem. There's ceremonies going on. We've got a great partnership and sponsorship from Cardell Homes. They want to be a part of it. They award 2 scholarships, leadership scholarships. They'll be awarded that night to Tyler Fiddler and Cody Cartier. There's some 50-50 proceeds going to the veterans, and we've got the Poppy Fund as well for poppies, and it's just a really neat event. And again, just trying to pay homage and honor the hardworking and all the people in the men and women servicemen that do such a great job for our country. It's our way of saying thank you.
You brought up Cody Cartier and Tyler Fiddler, and both of them are all-stars. Let's talk about them. And what does it mean for those players to take part in an event like MRU Remembers?
Well, they're older veteran players for us. They're established players. They're two of the best players in the country in CIS men's hockey. They're very appreciative young men. Last year they got to play in the World University Games as representatives for Canada West and CIS hockey. They both have the ability to advance and play professionally after their careers are finished here at Mount Royal University. But they're very humble young men too. And we went over to the Military Museum right next to the Flames Community Arena on Monday, and we had our captain stick around for a while to get some photos done just in terms of promotion. And they ended up talking with one of the servicemen there, and it ended up turning into like an hour and a half, 2 hour tour. And they were just humbled, and they said, "Coach, that was awesome," and hearing some of the stories and what actually goes on that sometimes we don't hear or see. And they're very appreciative, and for them to be able to receive these scholarships for leadership, I think it's very fitting, and they're very humbled by it.
That was Bert Gilling, head coach of the Mount Royal Cougars. Thanks for being on the show today.
Welcome to the Cougars Fast Break. My name is Spencer Schultz, and I will be asking Dylan and Jordan 5 quick questions, and they will have 15 seconds to defend their case. Once they go over, I will cut them off with this sound, and the other will have their chance to give their response. Here's the first question for you, Dylan. Who will be the leading scorer for the Mount Royal Cougars men's hockey team this year?
Easy answer, Matt Brown, captain, lead by example. CIS last year, he had 23 points, the year before 25, and in the playoffs he had some clinical goals, one of which won the game against Saskatchewan, so I think that's an easy selection.
All right, and over to you, Jordan. What are your thoughts on that?
Easy question, easy answer. Cody Karche is the way to go. He is that first-team All-Star in the Canada West. He led the team last year in points, over a point-per-game player. Yeah, he's getting the job done again this season. He's going to be the leading scorer for this men's Mount Royal Cougars squad.
Who do you think will set up the women's volleyball team this season?
Carolina Alongi is the one getting the job done. She's already seeing the majority of sets on that outside hitter position, and she can smash it down the throat. She can smash it cross court. She gets the job done everywhere. Expect the ball to go to her multiple times throughout the games.
Cutting it close with time. Over to you, Dylan.
Oh, Alongi is picked out by all the defensive teams. They have to go to Pellin now because Alongi's going to be overcovered. The outside hitter from Wham Ham, Alberta, more like Wham Bam. She's killing it, literally out on the court.
All right, boys, good answers, and we'll lead off with you again, Dylan, because we're coming back and forth here. So, the new look basketball team on the court, where will they finish this season?
Oh, they're going to make the playoffs. They were real close last year, and they just missed out. They're going to make it this year, but I don't see them going too far in the playoffs. They don't have enough depth, and they're quite a young face, new team, very inconsistent.
All right, what about you, Jordan?
Young face, new team, still going to get the job done. They're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to go further. They are led by Glenn Yang. He can get it done passing. He can get it done shooting. You go inside. You got Tekpa Ulam, another first-year player. And don't forget the veterans, Lefebvre, Wolf. Mount Royal has an amazing squad this year, and they're going to look to go distant in the playoffs.
Ooh, cutting it close once again. All right, we'll lead off with you on this next question for you, Jordan. Both of the Cougar soccer team lost in the first round of the playoffs of this year. Is this their pinnacle, or will they progress further in the future?
Here's the thing, they'll make the playoffs again, but they're not going to go any farther. They can't score. That's their crutch right now, is they can't put the ball in the net. In a low-scoring game like soccer, it's not happening if you can't get the job done by putting the ball in the net. It's going to be a lot of the same roster next time around. I can't see them getting any better on that aspect. They're going to be a strong...
went over. I'm sorry, I had to cut you off there. Over to you, Dylan. What are your thoughts?
Who would have guessed you would have the long-winded answer with soccer? Sean Daly was injured for all the men's season. He's going to come back, and he's going to be flying with goals. The women's team, it's going to be good as well. Only losing 3 seniors between 2 teams, that's incredible. They're going to be strong, and they're going to go farther.
All right, I'm glad you can defend that snarky comeback. We'll lead off with you on the last question, and Jordan will get to defend his case at the end. Will the men's Cougars hockey team get back to the semifinals this year?
I'm going to go with no. The Cougars had a great run. They have a great team. But right now, the Saskatchewan has been on a tear. And Saskatchewan's not going to let off Mount Royal as easy as they did last year.
All right, good answer. Jordan, finish this up. Bring us out for the segment.
They're getting the job done. They took 3 out of 4 points possible last week against the #1 ranked University of Alberta Golden Bears. They're an amazing team. They can take down NCAA teams. They already took down Saskatchewan Huskies in the playoffs last season. Come on. They're making their semifinals, and I expect them to make their first ever finals appearance.
All right, well, that is all we have today for the Mount Royal Cougars Fast Break. Thank you guys for tuning in, and tune in for next week for another quick session of the Cougars Fast Break, featuring Jordan and Dylan.
That is it for this week's episode of On the Prowl featuring Cougars Athletics. Remember, tonight's game between the University of Saskatchewan Huskies and Mount Royal Cougars has a MRU Remembrance game going on. That's 6 p.m. over at the Flames Community Arenas. I'm Jordan Magnuson.
And I'm Dylan Dodge. And don't forget to tune in to Sportsnet, The Fan 960 next week. At this time, we're going to be talking about the basketball home openers here at Mount Royal. Once again, special thank you to Bert Gilling coming in, as well as Mount Royal Broadcasting for providing the facilities and whatnot. Thank you all for tuning in.